Good afternoon and good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Want to welcome you back to another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, we have the privilege of speaking with leading brands about what they are seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Denise Jenkins. She's the Vice President of Marketing, Insights, and Loyalty at United Dairy Farmers. How are you today, Denise?
I'm doing great.
Great. It's interesting that you and I are about 10 miles apart. I don't think I've done an interview with someone so close recently, so that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, it's good to be in Cincinnati today. It's a beautiful
It
day here.
is. It is a nice day. So again, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to start these on kind of a more personal level, get to know the person that we're speaking with a little bit. So I'd love to know a little bit about you, your role at UDF, and maybe even a fun fact or a passion that you have outside of work.
Okay. Well, I've been at United Dairy Farmers for about 5 years now. Prior to that, I worked for 7-Eleven out of Texas for a number of years. And prior to that, I was in the ad agency business for about 20 years. So I've done a few things. Kind of one of the things that is in common across all of the job roles that I've had is a lot of it has focused on things that are consumer products or food service products that you can eat and drink. So one of the reasons that I came here was because I had worked at 7-Eleven in a private label innovation capacity. Had a lot of CPG background around food and beverage, and obviously some C-store experience. So came to work here about 5 years ago, and consumer insights and customer analytics rolls up to me as well, in addition to everything that you would generally consider to be marketing for a company of our size, media, social media. I also have a digital marketing manager working for me. And then on the personal side, this is actually a return to my homeland, kind of, for me to come to Cincinnati, because while I lived in Texas most of my life, I actually grew up until the age of 13 in Granville, Ohio, which is about 20 miles east of Columbus. So this is kind of like a full circle return home for me in a sense. And outside of work, I spent a lot of time working on our house. We bought a bit of a fixer-upper. So that includes a lot of rolling up your sleeves and painting things, and we've been working on a kitchen remodel in particular that's taken a couple of years. So it's been
Wow.
Undertaking. Yeah.
That's
a little bit about me.
Big undertaking for sure.
Yeah. It's almost done. It's turned out great.
That's good. That's good. That's good. From a UDF perspective, people who are not from the Midwest may not know UDF, so it would be great to know a little bit about UDF, your history, and what you guys do as a brand.
Okay. Well, we're celebrating our 83rd year in business this year in May. We're a family-owned company, and the fourth generation of the Linder family still fully own and operate United Dairy Farmers. United Dairy Farmers really came from a legacy of the family being in the dairy farming business. And in 1939, there was a decision made to start offering milk products through a single retail location here in Norwood, Ohio. And then that over time has evolved to what is now 170 locations of convenience stores. And almost immediately after we opened that first store here in Norwood, we also were making, in addition to fluid milk products, we started making our own ice cream. So we're known as a C-store chain, but we're famous for our ice cream. Everybody loves UDF ice cream, and we sell it under 3 brands now in our locations. And then also, you'll find our products, particularly our homemade brand products, in grocery store chains and big box stores throughout Ohio and parts of Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, and Illinois. So our footprint for the packaged goods part of the business is even greater than our store locations. Our locations are pretty much concentrated in what we call the tri-state, Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky.
Okay. You mentioned the ice cream, but more importantly, you have a very unique and powerful loyalty rewards program,
Mhm.
You Drive. Can you tell us a little bit more about the program, how it works, how
Yeah.
members can engage with the program, and maybe what are the benefits?
Yeah. So I would say, generally speaking, our program is very much organized around saving cents off per gallon at the gas pump. However, over time, we've tried to make it broader so that people who maybe don't fill up with gas very frequently or less interested in gas savings have other opportunities to find value in the program as well. So, program is now called UDrive Plus. Um, if you are an account holder in the loyalty program, you save 6 cents off at the pump every day as long as you fully registered with us either through our app or online. So, that can add up to quite a bit. So you're saving at least 6 cents off per gallon. And then in addition to that, you have the ability to also stack other savings, which can add up across weeks and months by buying products throughout the store. So you can earn, for instance, 3 cents off anytime you buy a coffee from us or a fountain beverage. We also have other programs that are more of a limited time offer. And one of our most popular ones is called 5 and Drive, which allows you to buy 5 milkshakes or malts from us over a period of time. They don't have to all be in the same visit to the store. And once you bought that 5th one, then you're entitled to 10 cents off per gallon at the pump. So you can see where it can really add up. And for a lot of people, if you're a routine coffee drinker with us, for instance, you can end up with accumulating like 60 cents off per gallon. That's really meaningful, especially these days when gas prices have really been volatile. And last year, I know we had prices of over $5 per gallon at the pump. I hope we don't see that again this summer, but that can really put a dent in a family's budget. So we add a lot of value that way. Also, if you're registered into the program, we can send you a lot of just perks. On your birthday, we'll send you an offer for a free ice cream, and really just throughout the year, rewarding people for their loyalty to United Dairy Farmers. We'll send them special offers based on what things that they like to buy from us. So if you're not a coffee drinker, we're not going to send you an offer for coffee. We're going to send you an offer for something that you care about and that you want to see some value on from our stores. Maybe it's a bottle of water, maybe it's snacks, maybe it's our delicious bakery products. We have our own bakery now. We make our own donuts every day, and other baked goods, and bring those into the stores fresh. So that's another popular thing for us to give away. And then, that's kind of on more of a sporadic delight, surprise and delight basis. But routinely, every Wednesday, we have something called UDrive freebies. So every single Wednesday, there's going to be something that we offer free from our stores that you can get if you're a UDrive Plus customer, and all you have to do is identify yourself with the purchase of that item with your alt ID, which is usually a cell phone number, or by scanning your app when you make a purchase of that free item, and it'll be yours for free. And that can be anything from a candy bar to one of our fresh donuts to just a variety of different things across the store.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a number of different ways to earn unique benefits tied to fuel discounts and also tied to kind of ice cream rewards as well, correct?
Correct. Yes.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The typical customer of UDF, from a offering perspective, what do they look like? Do they have discerning traits? As far as the UDF customer, are they coming in for convenience? Are they kind of very loyal to you for the coffee or for the gas? Why do they engage with the program?
Well, it can be a variety of things. I would say that of all of the UDrive transactions that we do, a lot of them are for gas purchases. A lot of them are for cigarettes. But then you start to kind of, work your way down a lot of the things that you would guess that a C-store would be popular and known for. So things like bottled soft drinks, fountain beverages, fast food items, our ice cream is up there at the top as well. That's one of our key traffic drivers to our stores in the summer months. On an evening, for instance, we have lines out the door at some of our stores just for ice cream. So, it's a typical C-store customer, but with more emphasis on the ice cream than you would see at other places. I would also say that UDrive customers are more frequent visitors to our stores than our other customers, and they spend more when they come.
Okay.
So they're really important to our business because they are loyal and they'll stay with you even in a tough time. So, during COVID downturns, our frequent customers were our UDrive Plus customers, and they were coming frequently and spending more than the other customers were. So they're very important, and we like to keep them rewarded and like to, let them know that we're grateful for their business.
Okay. When you look at convenience store customers, you talked about the loyalty of some of the UDrive members, very significant. Do can customers have loyalty to convenience stores? They like one particular store, a 7-Eleven or UDF, or are they more loyal to kind of the convenience store shopping experience, or is it kind of varied, if that makes sense?
I would say it's varied. What you see in the world of loyalty tends to be that people have their kind of close-in circle of places that they frequent.
Yeah.
And, they'll have within that close-in circle, they'll have loyalty cards from a lot of them. And that is kind of the top of mind group. And you will have some people that are a little bit more prone to switching because they are a super value hunter, and they're people who are, looking for coupons online and the best deal of the day on whatever that particular day may be. And they'll be more likely to switch. But for the most part, when you're talking about loyalty customers, you're talking about the C-store chain, people will have their kind of like their favorite one or two places that they frequent. And we're making an effort to make sure that we're number one in that choice. Another aspect of that is we're starting to add order and delivery to our toolkit and our kind of omni-channel approach. And there's a big intersection between, I believe, we don't have it fully fleshed out yet, but a big intersection between loyalty and order and delivery in this space. So we've been testing order and delivery in 29 stores in Columbus, and not surprisingly, people in Columbus that want things ordered very often are ordering our ice cream. That's the number one thing that they want brought to them to their homes. And we have our own platform now. So we're going to go bigger with that, and we're going to be able to let loyalty customers have offers that other people won't be able to have online for order and delivery. And then conversely, I hope we'll get more people into the UDrive Plus program who are using us for order and delivery, and maybe hadn't thought about us that way before when they figure out they can get more value out of the store. So that's something big that we're real excited about getting more into this year.
Oh, that's interesting. We actually have a meeting coming up tomorrow to talk about different types of customer loyalty programs, subscription premium programs, and what the offers in, and kind of the delivery is a big component of that. So it's great to hear that you're doing that and seeing such great success in the test market in Columbus for sure.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of opportunity there, but it's been a great learning experience because we've learned what people really want from us and then what they don't really care about from us. So we're going to be able to really dial that in now. I think there's a big opportunity to go after people more directly who we want them to consider ordering ahead from us in the morning day part for that coffee and donut kind of occasion. Starbucks has trained a lot of people to do that, but not everybody is a Starbucks customer. So I think for people who are more likely to shop with C-stores and shop with us, we just need to kind of recondition them to think about that as a way to be even more convenient in getting things done in the morning.
Absolutely. That's very interesting. And when you look at the fuel industry, kind of as the back court, the front court, and having kind of different offerings, making sure that the reward program can work, and both can be a challenge for a number of brands. How do you kind of address that, and allowing customers to kind of earn and redeem at the front court and the back court, and then also aligning the two?
Well, I think it's still really challenging to get people who are just kind of gas customers and don't really tend to buy anything in the store from that forecourt into the store. I can't say we're really cracked the code on that super well yet, but with the changes that we've tried to make in offering what we're calling member pricing, we don't publish it that way to the customer, but starting last year, we started to offer a lot of things across the store that you just simply get a better price on, kind of like Kroger does, right? You've got the
Yep.
shop tag price, and then you've got the UDrive Plus price. So I'm hoping once people can learn about that and understand that, be aware of that, that might help us get more people into the store more routinely. And then conversely, if you're registered with us, one of the benefits, and you have to have the app for this, but we will let people know when gas prices are going up. So we have this thing called low price lock for our members. And if you have the app, we can actually alert you on the app and let you know, because we know when we're taking our gas prices up relative to the competition. We can send you a push message and let you know that prices are going up. Usually that's going to happen late morning, early afternoon. And once that does happen, you're going to know that you can lock in the lowest price of the day until midnight that night. So you're giving yourself a chance to finish your workday or whatever, and then still make it to a UDF station to fill up at that lower price point that a non-UDrive customer would never know that they could do or wouldn't have the opportunity to do. So that's pretty exciting. You show up at the
That's
gas
interesting.
pump,
Yeah.
you literally see the price roll back at the gas pump. So it's pretty cool.
So the prices already went up in for other people, but the UDrive customer has the opportunity to come in throughout the rest of that remaining part of that day to go in and kind of get the price of what it was before.
Yeah, so they can capture a full tank before they have to pay the higher price.
That's awesome. Okay, that's great. When you look at kind of customers, how are your customers changing? There was a lot of change during COVID, through COVID. How is the fuel convenient store customer changing?
Well, one of the things that we saw during COVID, which I think we're starting to come out of now, is people were putting a lot less gas in their cars. So they may have been coming just as frequently, but they, instead of, let's say, the average fill up used to be 13 and a half gallons or something. And that dropped to something south of 10 for a long time. Now we're seeing that go back up. So that's one change. I think there's also a direct correlation between the price of gas and what people are willing to spend on snacks and drinks and other things. So when gas gets really expensive, there's a mindset that says, well, I shouldn't splurge on that candy bar, or I'm not going to go in the store today because I just spent $80 on a tank of gas. So that's a lot of what we're seeing people reacting to right now is, we're coming out of COVID, but there's a lot of uncertainty about people's wallets and, what they're going to be able to afford. The other trend is around people not getting stimulus money that they used to get. People are going to get less money back on average in their tax returns this year. So I think we're going to see still sort of a frugality of our customers, and letting them know that we're bringing them value to help offset those concerns, I think is, meaningful. So that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. It is kind of an interesting discussion. Kind of the economic uncertainty, job growth is still pretty strong, but kind of different socioeconomic groups are being impacted potentially a little different, and maybe durable goods are somewhat challenged as well. But do you see the customer loyalty program as a potential hedge against uncertainty or against inflation? How do you think, if so, that a loyalty program can provide that hedge?
Oh, yes, I definitely think that. I think we saw it during COVID. I think we'll see it again in kind of any kind of economic downturn, that those people who have made an effort to engage with the program will find value in it, and they'll stay with us. And so, for those people who were not loyal during the COVID downturn, they were offset in a lot of ways by our most loyal customers who were coming more often and spending more. So there was a dichotomy there. And those customers are just more sticky. They don't tend to wander as much. And then, when you have sort of, we have a little bit of a different position than some C stores in that we make a real effort to locate our stores in neighborhoods. So we're not going to be on highways and sort of the major freeway systems. We're more embedded in communities. And I think one of the things that helps you with is whether you are working from home or you're commuting every day, you got to leave your neighborhood. So, when people were starting to work from home a lot, I think a lot of people saw a downturn because they were losing that commuter traffic. And we did. But a lot of times those same people came back in late morning and got like a mid-morning snack or something from us instead of whatever they would have bought at 7 o'clock that day if they were going to an office or a factory job or what have you. Same with the opportunities around, going to schools and after school activities and things like that. We just have better adjacency and proximity to where people are carrying out their lifestyle.
Okay. What do you think the next big thing for customer loyalty, customer experience is for the UDF?
Oh, well, one thing I can talk about, this might be a little bit unexpected, but we have just recently launched an employee loyalty program. So we have about 2,500 employees that work in our retail organization. So, I'm talking about the everyday, frontline people who are in our stores working hard every day. And we've always offered a variety of perks to them in terms of savings that they can have on beverages and food and gasoline. But we've kind of upped that now. And we've formally put them in a special employee tier of UDrive Plus customers in the loyalty program. So in order to use their perks, the perks are now being delivered through the loyalty program itself. If that makes sense. So They go in and register, but they're tagged as an employee. And so they're being pushed specials and offers and information that other loyalty guests don't get. And they get deeper discounts and they get a variety of things that they can redeem throughout the day when they're working. And it used to be that they couldn't redeem certain things unless they were working a shift. They had to do it in the store that they were in. But now we give them the flexibility to do that anywhere, any of our stores, by using their account ID. So I think that's really big because for me, I love it as a marketer. These people are now embedded in our loyalty program. And they'll make great ambassadors for us with our customers. They'll fully understand how every aspect of it works, and they'll be seeing everything that our loyalty guests see in terms of marketing. And for the employees, it's great because it's kind of an easier way to redeem things and to take advantage of better offers and save more on gas.
Absolutely. That's a big discussion within the members of Loyalty 360. We actually have an employee engagement working group, and should I let them be part of the program? Should I not let them be part of the program? There's fraud, or they're going to be redeeming on their card. How do I address it? How do I train around it? So it's great to hear that you're focusing on that. And I think the key point you mentioned is they become an ambassador for the program. If trained right, if the trust is there and all the parameters are there, they become a huge advocate, and it helps them understand the value of the program, which can be a big challenge for many brands getting that understanding.
Because it can be kind of complex, so this gives them a way to experience it.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you look at other programs, are there or is there a reward program you admire? And why? Someone that may be doing a good job of driving customer loyalty in an effective manner?
Let me think about that for a minute. So I'm really interested in people who are doing it with food. I think, I don't know if you were asking me specifically about C-Store channel, but Panera is one of the ones that I noticed early on that I thought did a really good job, and they continue to do a really good job. One of the things that they did early that I would love to see us do, and this is probably a longer term goal, but the idea of appealing more to an office environment or to commercial accounts with a loyalty reward is something that we haven't ever done. and I don't think C-stores have really done.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of the next big thing for loyalty and as a way to get, um, I would call it incremental business, because that's not foot traffic you're drafting from. You're actually creating some new occasions for people to use you. Um, so I would definitely say Panera. I think Chick-fil-A does an awesome job. I'm a Chick-fil-A fan myself. And their approach is just extremely easy to understand and straightforward and clean. And I think, it's probably easy for them in some sense, just because they kind of do a couple of things really well, and instead of trying to do a really broad business model, which is one of the things you struggle with at C-stores, is we have like 10 different little businesses inside one little small retail box. But yeah, I think they do a really good job. I think McAllister's Deli does a really good job. In the C-store world, there's just a variety of competitors who I admire for one thing or another, but I like ours.
Yeah.
I like ours the best. We've taken a lot of time to fine tune it the last 3 years, and I think it's really working well. It's not too complicated. I don't like dealing with points systems, so we don't have that as part of our deal. You don't have to do math in your head. It's pretty straightforward approach.
Okay, excellent. And the last question, what can Loyalty 360 do to help you and your team with your customer loyalty journey?
I don't know, because I don't really know very much about you guys. I think our loyalty work that we've done the last 3 years has been very focused on C-store. Those examples I just talked about are really not our close-in competitors, but they're going to be, because we're going to be getting more and more into food ourselves, and we're going to be more and more reliant on food and food service as part of our profit engine, particularly as gasoline sales, potentially wane over time. People are moving to EV vehicles. Cigarette smoking is going to go away. Things are going to change, and we really are going to be putting a lot of our eggs in that food service basket. So I think because you guys are not necessarily just looking at the C-store space, you could help broaden our horizons on best practices that come from outside of our own business model.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we'd love to get you more familiar with Loyalty 360, but especially since we're in the same town, but we are a trade association for the industry, and we meet with brands on a number of different topics, right? From best practices, and I think to your point, the thing that's very unique is you can have a 7-Eleven or a Chevron or a Marathon. They share best practices with an Ahold, a Food Line potentially, or a Giant Eagle or a Dick's Sporting Goods. And I think the camaraderie and openness in the member community is very interesting. And there's been a definite shift to being a little more open and sharing across brands. And the reticence that may have been there before COVID has definitely changed, and it's great to hear kind of where different brands are and how ideas can cross pollinate.
Good. We have our own study groups within the C-store channel industry, but yeah, I think looking outside is really good, and I think we're going to be in a position in about 18 months where our own capabilities in food are going to be picked up, and we're going to do more with that. So we need to start preparing for that.
Well, I think this is great, Denise. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today. It was great to learn a little bit about you and also the UDF program, and look forward to hearing more from you over those next 18 months and what you guys are doing and kind of how you're progressing in the transition of the program. It should be quite exciting.
Yes, I think so. We were, just recently recognized by Newsweek.
Yep.
And the rankings that we got with them put us #1 out of all the C-stores that were ranked in there, and 14 across 239 brands of different industries in the loyalty rankings that were given by the consumers that they polled. So we're on a roll, and we're not stopping.
Well, that's great. Yeah, congratulations on the Newsweek accolades. It was great to hear that for sure. And again, looking forward to hearing more from you in the coming months.
Okay.
All right. And thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you join us back again for another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. Until then, have a wonderful day.